Hello, Intactivists! In the news this week, we have Foregen, Intact Global, Darbon Institute, Health Equality Campaign, and much more coming up. In POTS news, the 4 for 4 deal is done. Thank you for everyone who partook in that. Also, the Intact Global initiative ended March 1st. We had 4 new starter shoppers. We did not meet the threshold of at least 10 starter shoppers. So unfortunately, Intact Global doesn't get anything. Now, even though those are done, we have a brand new initiative currently started. CareBuzz is getting matched 6x, started March 1st, and ends April 1st, thanks to an awesome pot supporter. Speaking of CareBuzz, let's go check in on it today since it's the first Tuesday of the month. So, as you see here, we have 25 contributors. We bumped up by 1, and currently we have 4 active. That's super awesome, and we actually bumped up 1% of our goal, so we're at 11%, which is $35.10 out of $300. So, super grateful for everybody who does partake in this. It's passive. It's real easy. You just download the CareBuzz app, and for this is Windows, but you can also get it on iOS and these right down here. And then you just choose your initiative. You could just copy for website 1, and then you just keep the app running. Don't close CareBuzz to keep donating, and the app will silently run in the background. And then, yeah, you don't even have to share the initiative, to be honest. And I will say that if you go ahead and go click at the bottom of the description, you're going to see my link tree there. The CareBuzz option will be there. So this is what the link tree looks like. CareBuzz is right here. This is the Discord server where you can do the e-commerce program, and donations are here. And then these are the socials if you want to go ahead and follow me there. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you're in the right spot for reals. This here is the 6x CareBuzz bonus. It just says we have another awesome donor that is willing to 6x all CareBuzz gains up to $250 until April 1st. And this begins March the 1st. So, all right, I actually ended up editing from March 1st until April 1st. So there's no confusion on what's going on here. In the video special this week called Intact Global Set Up to Fail, this was the most commented on video on POTS ever, with over 100 plus comments. We most likely will do a response video to some of the comments later this week. Also, make sure you go ahead and check the pinned comments here. Ocean Birth did explain that the whole e-commerce comments didn't get starred. You can go ahead and read that if you want. We'll go ahead and cover that later, though, in a future video for sure. Also, big shout out to my fans as well, who actually went out 2 days ago, says right here, and went on Eric's live stream. And yeah, you guys definitely went and you made your voices heard about POTS' e-commerce program and, you know, interviewing with POTS and a lot. It was the daily live number 8. If you guys want to go ahead and see all the fans that came out to support Prevail over the system, it meant a lot. It was super awesome. Thank you guys for going out there and raising awareness that, hey, like, we could all work together. But yeah, so that's super awesome. Also, Karen Mitchell had her interview released this Saturday. Learn what she learned about circumcision from being a child educator for 40 years. I thought it was very informational, and it had that elder wisdom that so many younger people just like don't have nowadays. Like those rare moments you sit down with your grandmother or your grandpa and they just say something so true and you're like, well, thank goodness I learned that now instead of having to wait until I was much older to realize this and I had to like learn it on my own kind of situation. So it had a very awesome, chill vibe. At least that's what I thought when I watched the interview. Also, if you do end up making it to the end of this video, you will notice that we added those who've earned the title of Elite E-commercers to the end of the PANS members because they do support POTS. They did take the time out of their day to go ahead and help us with order ideas, and that's super awesome. And it is easy, but it does take up some time. I mean, some of these people were trying to get elite e-commercers for a year, so it could take a while to get it. So it does take patience to go ahead and get the elite e-commercer title. All right, and on to health equality campaign news. Anthony Squadro released a video, Circumcision Power and Control. But before we begin, make sure you guys like and leave a comment under Anthony Lasquadro's video. Also, if you guys don't mind, thank you very much for liking and subscribing this video as well. That is super awesome. I'm going to go ahead and summarize this for you so you guys don't have to sit through a 20-minute video. I mean, Anthony does awesome videos, but here's the summary. So New Hampshire in 2025, a bill to stop funding for non-medically necessary circumcisions while still allowing coverage for quote-unquote medically necessary cases, end quote, was reintroduced. In 2024, a similar bill narrowly failed, but the 2025 version has bipartisan support, and the bill is currently awaiting a vote in the Committee on Health, Human Services, and the Elderly Affairs, which I believe it did pass, and we're going to go ahead and talk about that a little bit later. Intactivism efforts were crucial in bringing attention to the issue, including public hearings. Mississippi, a bill, HB 865, was introduced to provide Medicaid coverage for non-therapeutic circumcision. The bill, which had one sponsor, was quickly opposed by Anthony and his clique, and a lobbyist was hired to fight it. While the bill has limited support so far, Anthony remains vigilant and ready to intervene as needed, which is super awesome. North Carolina, a victory was achieved when the state's private Medicaid insurers dropped coverage for non-therapeutic infant circumcision. This follows a law 1 Alpha 22 that excludes such coverage. The change affects insurers like WellCare, United Healthcare, and others. However, a loophole exists allowing circumcision under the guise of HIV prophylaxis. Anthony Lasquadro and Heck are working to close this loophole and prevent any circumcision coverage under this false premise. All right, so this is the New Hampshire House Bill 94. So I'm not 100% sure how to read this, but to the best of my knowledge, I'm like 95% sure. If you go right here, it says 2025, February 26, House Minority Committee Report, inexpedient to legislate. Now that sounds bad. That sounds like, oh no, they lost the vote. But the same day says 2025, February 26, Majority Committee Report ought to pass February 19th, 2025. The vote was 10-8. Regular calendar. So that's super awesome. Right up above my head. This is the vote, 10-8. That's super great. I believe that HB 94 got passed. Correct me if I'm wrong though, but I'm like 95% sure that it got passed. And if we go here and check with the bill track 50, just tracking this right here, it says Minority Committee Report, inexpedient to legislate right down here. But the majority said that it ought to pass. So we'll see what ends up happening. Yeah, you can see in the actions that it says right here, vote 10-8, regular calendar. So yeah, so this is good news for Heck and for Intactivists. So that's super awesome. Pop the confetti. Let's go. All right. And in the Darbon Institute news, Max was in an article on SBS News. Max was circumcised as a baby. He wishes he could reverse it every day. So this talks about Max Roberts. You guys probably know him from our interview that we had with him. He got on SBS News, which is pretty awesome. You guys can go ahead and read this. It's his personal story, and it's obviously circumcision bad. But if you keep reading it, eventually it's going to start going into abortion and then other stuff. So the only thing that really matters is like here on up, if you guys want to go ahead and read it. So it's about 8 paragraphs. They're pretty short read. But that's awesome for Max Roberts. That went ahead and got published in SBS News. And I'm not sure if he was representing the Darbon Institute. I know that's his group, so I'm kind of putting that in there. All right, and in Foregen news. So this is strong fundraising and new preclinical partnership, March 3rd, 2025. So it says our preclinical research collaboration with Dr. Stanislav has begun, and we are excited to share updates from February with you. Preclinical research collaboration. We kind of talked about this, I believe, a little bit last month, but it says that the research project has begun in Slovakia, is designed to generate the remaining data and protocols needed to apply for approval to conduct human clinical trials. This collaboration includes 4 principal milestones: collection of donor tissue samples, dynamic decellularization, dynamic recellularization, and bioreactor maturation. So this is kind of like the prerequisites for the human clinical trial. Just that's what I'm kind of getting from this. It says the first 3 milestones are being conducted in parallel for efficiency. So that means all 3 of these are happening all at once. Our research partners will provide photos and videos of their progress, which we will include in future updates. Work on the first milestone began in February, while work on second began today. The third will follow soon. All right, that's kind of parallel, I guess. Never mind. I guess parallel is one after the other as they work on it, I guess. The 4th milestone, the benefits of utilizing a bioreactor, include simplifying the surgical procedure by potentially eliminating the burying method, which would have required additional time in surgery. It also improves consistency among the foreskin scaffolds before they are used in surgery. All right, sounds promising as of right now. Upon completion of these milestones, the surgical plan will be finalized, a CRO will be identified, patients will be recruited, and we will apply for approval to conduct human clinical trials. Animal trials, publications. The final reports for the rat and sheep trials have been completed and submitted to the journals for publication. That is awesome. Now, did they get approved? I think so. I mean, I don't know if they're waiting for the journals to accept it for publication. I'm not sure, though. It doesn't say that. The histology studies. The first draft of histology study has been submitted to us for review. Additionally, Dr. Jose Vega's histology study of foreskin nerve structures is in its final phases. Now, actually, I'm going to make a video, hopefully, soon about the histology studies. I've been really wanting to make a video for this for the past, 6 months, but I've just been so busy. And it takes a while to, learn about the histology study, and it's been a process. And hopefully I can get this out to you guys soon. But it's going to probably take, another, 4 months. Just other sectors of the intactivist movement took my focus away, I'll say. But hopefully we can go ahead and make at least a timeline of the histology study together. All right, and fundraising. Thanks to your remarkable support, Foregen raised $23,500 in February. That is awesome to hear. You know I like to hear anything above $20,000 from Foregen because that was the OG thing for Foregen to have them get $20,000. That's awesome that they raised this much. So, and if you go ahead and if you look at the Foregen total raised chart that I had, I put January 2025. I put that for the year raised. February and March, those months are going strong. We are constantly above $20,000. This is sending the message that supporters are pretty hype. So that's good. That's good that supporters are hype about Foregen and that they're donating, or that Foregen is spreading and getting new people to be interested in them. So that's all good news to hear. All right, and on to the Intactivist calendar of the week. So, Gaudaff, They Cut the Babies, Don't They? Plus 2 more films. This is on Saturday, March 22nd, 1 p.m. through 3 p.m. Eastern. If you want to go, it's about $25. I think there's maybe a small tax or something involved in there, but it's around $25 if you want to go. The Bloodstained Men at Genital Integrity Awareness Week. This is March 29th through March 30th. Also, Minnesota and Dakota Circumcision Crisis Protest. This is May 10th. So this is about 9 days of protesting. It's pretty big, and this will be happening in May. So that's about 2 months away, 3 months away. Saving Our Sons, they are going to do Genital Integrity Awareness Week, March 29th through the April 4th on the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol. Intact Global's conference is going to be March 29th through the 31st, 2025 in Portland, Oregon. The tickets, you can still get the early bird tickets for general admission for $200. I don't know when those go up though. And you can also buy additional tickets down here for the Founders Dinner right here for $300. Intact America, Alan Cummings got skin in the game. That's going to be April 30th, 2025. So that's about a month and a half from now, roughly. Babies and Bumps Pittsburgh. This is a Eurohole baby event. This is Sunday, June 22nd. It's going to be about $30 to $60 for you to get into this. It's going to take place at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern at Doubletree by Hilton Hotel, Pittsburgh Cranberry. And again, this is Sunday, September 28th. Babies and Bumps Cleveland 2025. Your Whole Baby once again. Same prices. This is at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. But this is at Cleveland at Marriott East. All right, and on to the polls of the week. So this poll is, if you had $30 to give to an Intactivist legal group, who would you give it to? Currently, Intaction is in a pretty big lead, well over double. People seem to be trusting Intaction a bit more, which is interesting because Intaction isn't swinging for the fences, so to speak. I don't know. Maybe people think Intaction is more realistic. It's over double what Intact Global's numbers are. I got rid of bots on this one, so you guys don't have to deal with the bots. So it's the real people's numbers on this one. As you notice, there are no C's, meaning that no one here would give Gaudaf $30 out of the choice of those three. And granted, this is a small poll, but I don't know. Is the writing on the wall for Gaudaf? I'm very curious what you guys think in the comments. Let me know why you think no one voted for Gaudaf. Once again, guys, if you don't like how this turned out, please go to my Discord and go vote, because your vote matters. And on to the fundraisers of the week. All right, so Unaltered is still at $30. So no change for the past 2 months. All right, Foregen still collecting money. $21 from an anonymous person 2 days ago. That is awesome. Above and beyond their goal. All right, this is Your Whole Baby. No new donations this week. They're still at 38% of their $720 goal. So they have $275 raised for their Babies and Bumps Cleveland. And again, with Your Whole Baby, no new donations. Still at 39% of their $670 goal at $260 raised. Eric Kloppers, Intact Global's fight against genital mutilation is picking up some steam for sure. Intact Global about a little over $620 currently for the week. That's how much he got. It looks like K-Sun made a double donation. I'm not sure if he meant for that to happen, but hey, you know what? We're going to count it. So they got about $638 plus 5, so $643 this week. He has 51% of his $50,000 goal raised, so he has $25,288 raised. And Intact Global got a donation on their Oregon litigation effort. I believe this was about $40, maybe $10. I forget. I don't know if it was at $300 or $330, but he now has 11 donations. So $340 out of a $30,000 goal. And hold doctors and hospitals accountable for penis injuries. This is Intact America. They haven't gotten any donations this past month. They're at $5,125 raised, 10% of their $50,000 goal. And Prevail over the system. We're at 94% of our $7,000 goal. Thank you guys for donating. Definitely appreciate it. Guys, please keep in mind the e-commerce program and the CareBuzz program. I would much rather you guys support POTS through doing that than donating, but we do love it when you donate, and we do appreciate it, and it does help for sure. But, you know, if you guys can't afford to donate, that's A-okay. That's why we have the e-commerce program. That's why we have the CareBuzz, because we want to make it easy to support Intactivism. And I think that's one of the easiest ways, honestly, is CareBuzz or the e-commerce program. So definitely go ahead, join our Discord and learn how to do that. And if you really just don't want to and you want to donate to us, heck yeah, we love that too. And on to the Intactivism growth for the week. So, Bloodstained Man had 6,932 followers last week. And this week, Bloodstained Man has 6,968 followers. This is a 36% gain, or a 0.52% gain for the week. Bloodstained Men having an impressive growth for this week. Big hype train for Bloodstained Men. Let's go. That's super awesome. They could hit 7,000 at any point, any week. Super excited for Bloodstained Men. Let's give it up for the Bloodstained Men. That's all I have for the news. Don't forget about watching Intact Global Set Up to Fail. Yeah, so go check out that video. Please like and share this to get this out to more people. And thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye. A special shout out to our coffee supporters.